Okay, so this is going to be an instructional / overview video of this brand new 2026 model Bailey Autograph 81-5. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the motorhome and then we will go into the habitation area. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet. Two reasons for this. One is so you know how to open the bonnet, and then two, I'm going to show you where the terminal points are in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. So to open the bonnet, all you need to do is open the passenger door, and then at the side of the dash you will see the bonnet release catch. Pull that down once and that will then release. Also, while we are in the cab area, so the passenger and the driver's door has blackout blinds, so you'll see a little tab here. All you need to do is pinch that tab and then the blinds will slide and then meet at the end on a magnetic strip. Same on the front windscreen, there's a little tab here, one on each side. Pinch it, slide them across, and then they will meet in the middle on a magnetic strip again. Underneath the passenger seat we have a toolkit, so it'll have your towing eye in there, it'll have a jack. This vehicle does come with a full-size spare wheel under the rear axle, so that's where your toolkit is stored. And then underneath the driver there is just a pull-out tray, so there's a bit of storage under there as well. As you can see, I've now got access to the bonnet area. So if you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason, your negative terminal point is just here, and then your positive is just going to be down here, and it will be underneath a black cover. So that is going to be your positive terminal point, just down there. Also, we have got your screen wash fill, which is in front of the driver. So now we are going to carry on around the external of the motorhome. As you can see, this vehicle does come with an awning. You'll get sent a separate link how to set up and use the awning on an email. So again, at the side of the passenger door, you will see here is going to be your diesel fill and AdBlue fill. On your diesel fill, you just need to use your vehicle blade key and that will give you access there, and then obviously your AdBlue is just a screw cap. The first locker we come to is going to be your LPG gas locker. So you can fit 2 tanks in here, and then you can connect to the gas regulator at the top. So just take this cover off, it's a 1/2-inch thread. Because this is a brand new motorhome, it does come with a pigtail. So you connect the 1/2-inch thread onto here and the 3/4 thread onto the LPG tanks. So again, you can fit 2 tanks in here. You could probably squeeze 2 11-kilogram tanks in there, or if you want to get 2 smaller ones, you can do that. So yeah, that is your LPG locker. We have got external power here, so underneath there's a cover at the back there. Underneath that is going to be a 3-pin socket, so then you have got external power outside if you set up an awning or a blow up porch. This will only work on mains hookup though, because this is 3-pin, so this will only work when you're connected on mains hookup at campsite. Your next one is going to be your external barbecue point. So all you need to do is obviously turn your gas on at the tanks and then use this tap to turn on the gas for flowing, and then you have got a little quick release connection there which plugs into the bottom. You just need to connect that onto some orange hose onto which appliance you are using if it's a barbecue. At the rear we have got a large locker. So this is still on the passenger side, so in effect we've got a tall locker, so you can fit skis and stuff like that in there. This shelf does fold out of the way. Also, this area is in effect one of your wardrobes, as you can see there. That's the habitation area, and you've got hanging space right at the top as well. So in the garage we have got 3-pin socket. So 3-pin again will only work when you connect it to mains hookup. 12 volt, so 12 volt is when you run your leisure batteries. We've got your bed ladder, so that's for one of the drop down beds at the rear, for when you are converting the down to berth lower down. And you've got tie down points as well in the garage, awning winder, and the garage is heated as well, so that is one of the radiators from the Emm-Bee heating system. So that is everything on the passenger side. Like I said, underneath the rear axle at the rear, you've got a full-size spare wheel, as you can see there. So now we'll carry on around on the driver's side. Sorry. Again, we have got another locker for the garage area. We have got, so because this is brand new, you've got a full accessory pack. So it comes with a mains hookup, a hose pipe, mains hose pipe. You've got your mains hookup there. It's got a sink cover in there, a bowl. Again, like I said, you've got your gas pigtail. This is what you use to fill up the motorhome with water. Basically, this connection connects onto the filling point, which we'll get to. So basically, you clip that on, and then you put that onto the bib tap, turn the tap on, and that will fill up the freshwater tank. Underneath the rear axle on the driver's side, you can see here we've got your grey waste drain valve. So all you need to do is just a quarter turn, a 180 turn on this lever here, and that will empty your grey waste. Above that we have got your Emm-Bee flue. So you need to keep this clear when obviously you are burning the gas, because this is where the fumes do exhaust from. We have got ventilation here, top and bottom, for your fridge freezer. This is for when it's running on gas. It's got ventilation for the gas side of things. In here we have got your toilet cassette. So if you want to take out your toilet cassette to empty or clean, all you need to do is this orange tab here, lift it up, pull the cassette towards you, and that will then release. If you want to then empty it, this orange nozzle on the left, twist it out to the left. If you take this grey cap off and then tilt up the cassette, that will then release the fluids. If you want to release them faster without the water splattering back, if you hold this button down at the top, hold that down, that lets air into the top of the cassette, so all the fluids flow out a lot faster. You can open the cassette blade, clean internally with a hose pipe, if needed, just washing it out again as well. You can also put your chemical in here as well, or your Thetford do, like sachets, which are the right size for the toilet cassette. So you can put that in there before putting it back. And then once you have done that, all you need to do is align it, slide the cassette back into place, and just make sure that this orange tab is securely down, so when in transit it's not going to move in or out. Here, as you can see, I'm currently connected to mains hookup, so this is where you plug in at campsite, or if you want to connect the vehicle to 230, 240 volt at campsite, or at home if you can charge at home. Here, this is your fresh water fill, so that's where you connect on with that square block that I'll show you on the hose pipe. Plug that onto here, and then turn on the freshwater bib tap to fill up, and that will fill your freshwater tank completely full. So that is everything external on the motorhome. Now we are going to go into the habitation area. I'm going to show you where the drain valves are, and show you a few of the other features in there as well. So as you can see, we are in the habitation. Directly above the habitation door, this is your master control panel. So on your control panel on the left side, that's your master on and off. As you can see, master off, turn it back on, it will turn the lights on. You've got arrow buttons here, so you can select through the menu. Settings, you've got fill tank. Basically, fill tank is what on the whale system, which Bailey have fitted, you can fill up from an external water bud. So basically, you would use this setting, you press enter and press fill tank, and basically you need to get a separate device for this, but one of the ends goes into a water bud, and then you can fill up from the water bud using a built-in pump on the hose pipe. Most people don't use this, but it is a great option to have. Next one is your battery select. So we can select, as you can see, we're on leisure battery. You can press enter and run off the engine battery. This won't change over yet because I'm currently plugged into mains hookup. So when you're off grid, you can change it to the engine battery. Just be cautious with this because you don't want to drain your engine battery and then run out of battery to start obviously the engine up. But it's a great little feature just in case you need that little bit of power to do something. Waste level, so that's your waste water, gives you a rough percentage of your gauge. Fresh water level, again, that gives you a rough percentage. It gives you external temperature, internal. It gives you a leisure current. Currently it's showing 0%. The reason for that is because I'm plugged into mains hookup. If you're off grid, running off your leisure batteries, this will show you your leisure current. Vehicle voltage, leisure voltage, and again back to the start. If you can see on the top left corner, there's like a plug with a tail. Basically that means I am connected to mains hookup. So when you plug in a campsite on mains hookup, you should get this symbol. If you don't get this symbol, potentially there is a fault somewhere. Most of the time it is the campsite post that is tripped, but it could be on your main breaker in the motorhome as well, which we'll get to. On the right hand side, you've got your water pump. So you only want to turn your water pump on when you've got water in the system. If you turn it on when it's dry, eventually you'll burn out the motor. So only run that pump when you've got water in the system. Once the system's primed, you can leave the pump on. It's just when the tank is empty, the pump will run. Here we've got lights. So your internal lights, and then this light symbol on the right hand side is your external awning / porch light outside. So that is the control panel for the habitation. It's quite straightforward. So we'll start off in the front area. So as you can see, we've got driver and passenger seat swivel. If you want to swivel the seats, what you need to do is this lever here. If you release this lever when it's in its driving position, then that will release the swivel seat, and then you can spin it all the way around. On the driver's seat, you might just need to slide the seat back and forth just to miss the steering wheel. As you can see, we've got a 10-inch entertainment media. We've got auto gearbox, USB sockets up here, Type C sockets as well. We've got this little swivel table, it's a little coffee table, which you can move out of the way. You can adjust just down at the bottom. We have 2 travel seats here, and then we have a 5th travel seat, which is under this bench seat here, which we'll get to and set up. But basically you remove the cushions, you fold the seat up, and that is your 5th travel seat. I'll do that now. I'm going to remove the cushions, set the travel seat up, because underneath that travel seat is where your main breaker is for the 230 volt side and your 12 volt fuse system. So I'll do that now. So as you can see, I have now got the travel seat set up. So this is the 5th travel seat. How that works is basically once you remove the cushions, there's a lever here. You just twist this lever, and then the backrest basically converts from its bench seat and folds up. And then these removable cushions are from the garage, so that creates the travel seat. Directly below that, that is where your main breaker is. So your 240 volt side is at the top, or the blue ones. So that's where you need to check if something's tripped on the 240 volt side. So it could be your 3-pin sockets, it could be your boiler or the fridge. So yeah, this is where you need to check on the 240 volt. Lower down, you'll see all your 12 volt fuses. They're all labelled, but if you blow one of the fuses, this is where you need to check for the habitation. Again, all your 12 volt system is run off the leisure batteries when you are off grid. Also in the front, we've got reading lights on a rocker switch, and they do have a USB point as well. So at the front, we've got drop down bed. So this drop down bed, I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to fold this seat away, but if I want this drop down bed to come all the way down, I do need to remove this back cushion here and the headrest, and basically the drop down bed misses this bit and comes all the way down, so you don't need to use a ladder or a step to get onto it. So as you can see, I've removed the backrest cushions on both sides, and the 2 headrests, and the travel seat back cushion as well. So all we need to do now is to drop down the bed. You select the front bed here on the switch, and then above that is a control panel for the drop down bed at the front. Just press and hold the switch, and basically what it will do, it has a halfway point, it will stop like so. You need to release the switch, press again, and then the drop down bed will come all the way down to the seat cushions. And there you have it. That is the drop down bed set up in the front area. So like I said, you don't need to then use a step to climb up or anything. This is built to come all the way down. You may actually get away with leaving the back cushions on. It may just miss them, but I just took them off just in case. To put the drop down bed back up, press and hold the button to go all the way up, and basically what will happen is it will meet a contact in that corner up there. There is a contact sensor, and basically that stops the bed moving up once it hits that. One bit of advice we do recommend is to take your pillows off. You can leave your blanket and bedding on, but take the pillows off. The reason for that is because if the pillows are on, this drop down bed tries to reach the contact point, and if it can't reach it, it'll carry on and then blow the fuse. A lot of people usually blow the fuse a few times because they forget about this. You can leave the pillows on in effect, but what you'd have to do is just leave the bed lower down. And then the downside to that though is these lights won't work because they are triggered by that contact sensor in the corner. So that is the front area, and then I'm going to put all that back together, and then we'll go over the kitchen area and then work our way to the rear of the motorhome. Now we are going to go over the kitchen area. Just before we do that though, in this slim cupboard here, if we pull out this drawer, that is where your fold away removable table is. So you can set that dining table up at the front or rear. It's a great little feature because one, it's out of the way and not permanently fixed in the motorhome, but two, you can actually obviously use it outside as well. So that is behind the travel seats there. Kitchen area, kitchen tap. Basically, we use the kitchen tap to prime our motorhome with water to prime our system. I've not got to all the drain valves as of yet, but basically we are going to prime our system dry, and how we do this is we shut all the drain valves. So we have a freshwater drain valve which is in the freshwater tank, which is currently it's underneath the carpet, it's under the floor, which we'll get to. So you've got freshwater tank to close before filling, your grey waste which you close, which is external, and then there's a yellow valve for your boiler for the aldehyting and your water. You need to close that. So there's 3 valves you need to close. Once you've done that, and you then fill up the freshwater tank completely full with water, once that is full, come to your control panel, turn on the 12 volt system, and then turn on your pump. Press your pump button, and what that is going to do is start pumping water from the freshwater tank and priming the system. All we need to do now is then come to the tap, open the tap on the cold side, and then when you get a steady flow of water on the cold side, we'll shut the tap. That means the pipework is fed through all the pipework to the tap, and then the cold side of the system is all primed, ready to use. Now we're going to twist it to the hot side, twist it, open the tap again. And what's going to happen now, it's going to take water from the fresh water tank, and then it's going to fill up that Aldi boiler. Your boiler holds around 10 to 12 litres. And basically it's going to fill that boiler up with water. And then it's going to come out the other side of the boiler, through the pipework to the tap. Again, when you get a steady flow of water on the hot side, shut the tap. And that means your water system is primed, ready to use. So all the pipework is bled, vented out with air. The only thing you will need to do if you do want hot water, you need to boil the water. It's not instant. And how you do that is with this Aldi control panel, which we'll get to. So after you've primed all your system, like I say, it is ready to use when you need. You just need to boil that water if you want hot water. Here we have your 4-ring stove. You've got 3 which is gas, so if you're off grid you can use them 3 all the time. And then you've got 1 which is electric, and the electric one will only work when you're on mains hookup. You have got oven and grill, igniter here as well. Again, you need to turn on the 12 volt system for your igniter to work. And then you've got lots of storage in here as well. We've got a microwave. A microwave will only work on 240 volt as well. So when you're plugged in at campsite, that will only work. It won't work off your leisure batteries. More storage up there as well. So we've got some plug sockets, 3-pin sockets around, light switches in the kitchen area. This is the switch to convert which side of which bed, rear or front of the drop down bed, which one you want to operate. So if you press the front, then this control panel is for the front bed. Press the rear, and the rear control panel is on the left hand side there. Again, more sockets around, and then these are your light switches at the rear as well. Last thing in here is your Aldi control panel. So currently I've got this switched on, but I'll turn this off, press this button, let it do its cycle, and it will then shut down. If we want to turn it on, press the button and it will fire up. So as you can see, top left, it's indicating that we are connected to mains hookup. You'll see that symbol on your control panel. If it's not on here, if it's not on your control panel, then you are not connected to mains hookup. Like I said, there could be a fault. It could be the campsite post that is tripped. It could be a faulty cable. It could be something's tripped in the motorhome. First thing we're going to do is select energy. And the reason for that, we're going to choose what we want to use as a fuel to heat up the heating or hot water. Currently I selected 3 kilowatts because I'm running off electric. I don't have gas on board, but if I do have gas on, I can select gas and electric. I can select electric only, or I can just select gas. I'm not going to turn gas on because it will fault because I've no gas, but basically switch it on like so and it will then run off gas. If you're off grid, you'll be running off gas on its own. If you're at campsite, you can run just off electric, or you can, like I say, run off gas and electric. If you want to get the vehicle up to temperature quite fast on the heating, you're better off getting it on gas on its own, and then that will get the heating up a lot faster. Same with the hot water, but then you can flick it over to 3 kilowatts once it's up to temperature and turn the gas off, or you can leave the gas on and it will auto select the best choice it has. If we want to change the temperature, you've got the indoor bit here, tap the screen there, and then you've got a plus and minus to select your desired temperature. So you can turn that off as well, the heating on the top right. So as you can see, I'm trying to get 30 degrees, it's currently saying it's 12.5 degrees. So this is just running off electric. So it will take a lot longer on electric. Gas, because it's a solid fuel, will heat faster. Hot water, bottom right, tap the screen, got 3 settings. Got off, on or boost. Turn it on, that will heat your hot water up. And then if you've got boost, basically it will heat it in about 30 minutes. On boost, you're better off making sure you have got gas connected, because it will just heat that hot water a lot faster on gas. So like I say, the first time using it is, especially obviously if it's still cold, get the heating or get the hot water turned on gas, get it all fired up, and then you're not waiting all day for it. On the menu button on the bottom right, select it, you've got loads of different settings. You've got night mode, basically just runs the pump a bit quieter. You've got day mode, so basically you can set timers on here as well. You can set for heating to be on at a certain time to start and end. You can set for your hot water to be on as well. You can do a lot of stuff on this. You can recalibrate the sensors. You won't really need to do any of this, but all the options are there. You've got a reset as well. The biggest thing on all heating systems is just making sure your energy, your source of fuel, is available. So if we want to run off electric, make sure we are plugged into electric. If we want to run off gas, make sure I turn the gas on first at the cylinders before turning it on. That's where a lot of people do fault the system, because they've selected gas, left it, thought the gas was on, and then it will fault because the fuel is not there. We have got your fridge freezer here. So we've got a three-way fridge, and at the top, press and hold the control panel and it will fire up. We've got a few settings on here. It's called a three-way fridge. You can press this square in the middle and it will flash once on the source you want to select. You can use the arrow to go through it. So you've got A. A is automatically select, so it will change over automatically. You've got a plug socket symbol. So that's when you're plugged in at mains hookup, running off electric. You've got a battery symbol. So the battery symbol is when you are, when the engine's running, it run split charge off the alternator. The alternator will charge up your leisure batteries, and this is taking a current from the leisure battery. And then the last one is, when I get to it, is gas. So if you're off grid, you can just be on gas on its own. A lot of people do leave it on A. Automatic, it will select. You can select your temperature as well. So the more blue blocks you have, the colder it will get. The less, the lower down, the warmer it will get. So I selected A. It's automatically realised we are on mains hookup, so it's using electric, and we are at full whack to get the fridge and freezer cool. Straightforward. Like I say, most people leave it on A. Just remember, if you have left it on A, automatically select. As soon as you turn the engine off, it will then try and go to gas if there's no mains hookup connected. So make sure you turn the gas on if you are stationary and you want to keep that fridge cold. To turn it off, press and hold the power button. It will then shut down. And that is your large fridge freezer. At the rear, we have got your U-shaped lounge. We've got your boiler underneath this bench seat here, which we'll get to. I'll remove the cushions to show you where the drain valve is for the boiler. In the middle, at the bottom, we've got storage, and just above that there is a little pull out. There's a pull out bed there. Basically that pulls all the way out, converts this into a double bed, because this is a 6 berth 5 travel motorhome. On the right hand side, got some more storage under there as well. Drop down bed above, so that will come down halfway, and you use the bed ladder if you're doing 4 berth up this end. Then obviously you would need the bed ladder to set the height, and that will give you in effect your double bunk beds. If you're not using the dinette to berth lower down, you can actually bring this drop down bed all the way down as well. We've got this is the cupboard which I was talking about externally. So that is where your hanging space is on one side, but that is where obviously you can get this from the garage area as well. Got reading lights around. We have got Type-C USB sockets there. We've got a wireless charging pad here, so if your phone has wireless charge, you can just put that on there and that will run off your 12 volt system charging. And there is a Type-C and USB inside there as well. In this cupboard here we've got shelving, and then we have your aerial. So at the top there's a blue light, as you can see that's switched on. Basically if you want to get best signal, you just need to get that to green. That's usually full strength. If it's red, the light, that means you've no signal. How to get signal is the nut at the top. Undo that nut, and that's on a telescopic pole. Then you can twist the pole around to try and get the best signal, and that light is your indicator of your signal strength. Just make sure when you are setting back off on your travels that you do bring this down in case you've got it at the highest point. We've got, this is your fluid for the Aldi heating system. So this is, you won't need to, you very rarely need to top this up, but you have got a minimum and max gauge there. But basically that is where all the fluid is stored, which goes through all the pipe work. Again, on the other side, more reading lights as well. We've got TV bracket. There was one at the front as well. And before I show you remove all the cushions, we have got a little device here. And basically this little device on the drop down beds, in this far corner here there's a hole, and then up inside that hole there will be a hex Allen key bolt, and basically you put this on, and this is to wind up the motor manually. The reason you'll need to do this is if the drop down bed fails. A few reasons why it would fail. The first one, the motor's broke. It's very rarely the motor. The second one, which is the most common one, is the fuse is blown. So again, you'd need to come to the fifth travel seat, look at the 12 volt fuses. The third one, it could be you've no physical power. That could be your first one. But yeah, they're your options. The motor could have failed. You could have blown a fuse. You could have no physical power. The leisure batteries have run out. So then obviously it won't operate. But that is a little device to try and get the bed manually wound up. It's not the fastest device. It's not the easiest. It's just a device that will assist to try and get the bed up out the way or bed down in case of that situation. So I'm just going to remove the cushions on this side here to show you, give us access to the boiler area, just so I can show you where this yellow valve is which you need to open or close. Obviously you need to close it if you want to fill up the boiler with water, and then you need to open it if you are not using the motorhome to drain the water content out of the boiler. Underneath the fridge we have a little switch, and basically that is, if you switch it on, there's a fan behind here just blowing through some of the vents on the heated system that will circulate some warm air as well. And there is one underneath the travel seats, the two travel seats here. There is another fan switch just down there as well. So as you can see, I've now removed the bench seat cushions. So this is where your boiler is. You won't need to do anything down here. Like I said, the only reason you need to come down here is because of the drain valve for the boiler. You have got some storage down here as well, as you can see. You've got a little bit under there as well. But this yellow valve here, this is what you need to use to close the valve to fill up the boiler, or open it to drain the boiler. So currently in its vertical position, as you can see now, that is open. So all the water in this boiler here will drain straight out underneath the motorhome. If this valve is open when you're trying to prime the system, what you will do basically, when you prime the system on hot side, it will just pump the water straight back out of the motorhome. To fill up the boiler, all you need to do, knock that yellow valve down like so. And then when you are priming the system, it's going to go into the boiler, fill the boiler up with water. If you're not using the motorhome or winter, you're parking it up, all you need to do, lift that yellow valve up, and that will then drain all the water out of the boiler. So we have got your toilet area and shower cubicle. You won't need to prime the shower cubicle or the basin sink. Basically, once you've primed one tap, that's why I always recommend the kitchen, because that's usually the one you use first. Once you prime one tap, all you do is once you open the valve on the basin tap or the shower, it will just vent out any excess air in that pipe work, and then it'd be ready to use. You've got a shower screen here which folds out to create your shower cubicle. If you've got wet gear, so like wetsuits, you can hang it in here. Wet towels, so you can dry it in here as well. We have got your toilet cassette here. If you want to use your cassette, you need to use this blade here. What this blade does, slide it across, and that will open the toilet cassette. So when you are using it, obviously that's going to go into the Thetford toilet cassette. After use, make sure you close the valve so no smells come back up. Here we have got the blue button is your flush, so you need to turn on the 12 volt system. Basically the 12 volt system runs the pump, so if there's no power on, then the flush won't work, or the pump. But the blue button is your flush. That is using fresh water from the fresh water tank just to flush the bowl. To the left side, that icon there, what looks like a toilet cassette, that icon is basically, it will light up red / orange when the toilet cassette is full. So if you get that with a light on it, that means the toilet cassette is full. It needs to be emptied. You've got some storage in here, and you got storage in that behind that mirror cabinet, and some shelving as well. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to lift up the carpets, and I'll show you the batteries, and I'll show you the freshwater tank drain valve. So as you can see, I've now removed the carpets and the access points. So this is remove them panels, and this will give you access to your two 90 amp hour leisure batteries, which are stored underneath the floor. Here, this is your freshwater tank. So you will need to access this more than anything underneath this floor, and basically open this cap, and as you can see inside there is a bung, And this bung here, this is what you need to plug in. There is a little hole somewhere in this tank, and you need to, it's just down in the bottom left down there. So basically you need to put that bung into that hole before you fill up your freshwater tank. If you don't put this in, then obviously when you're filling up, your water is just going to pour straight out of the freshwater tank. If you want to empty the freshwater tank, if it is full, just run the system, run the water, cold water through the kitchen sink. Just to reduce this, basically, you do need to grab this bung in here, pull it out to empty all the water contents in the freshwater tank. So if you have just filled it up and you need to empty it, instead of put your hand all the way in, getting it wet through, you can just run the tap for a bit just to get it low down, and then put your hand in, pull the bung out. And I would recommend as well, grab it by the bung, don't pull it by the chain, because the chain is just a bath chain in effect, and it usually does snap. It's not quite strong. So always grab it by the rubber bung, pulling it out. So this is the most common one you will need to access underneath the floor, and this tube is just a breather pipe underneath. At the rear we have got access to the grey waste as well, so you can open that cover there. If you want to put a hose pipe in there, just wash it out, you can do that. You won't need to really access this, but it is an access point, especially for the service team. So that is the instructional / overview video complete of this brand new 2026 model Bailey Autograph 81-5. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call. We can get hold of more of these.